We're coming to you from Bangalore CDC, and joining us now is a special guest, Mr. Ravi Kumar Raju from Pi Data Centers. Welcome, sir. Why don't we begin by talking about cloud technology, the entire industry surrounding it, and how it has grown and evolved in India? What has your experience been?
Yes, thank you, Deb, for the invitation. So cloud, interestingly, like I started my career way back in 2007, and I've seen the journey right from my start of the career, and I started working with Microsoft Azure and AWS right from 2009 and 10. So yeah, the evolution came across the cloud is primarily the cost savings that they promise the hyperscalers, and also the scalability things. Okay, and that is where the organizations started leveraging cloud slowly, and started moving from private cloud or on-premise to the hyperscalers. So that's the evolution that started from 2010, and later on, due to the new advancements in microservices and also the Kubernetes, it also propelled to much more growth. So the growth is happening in a lot of ways, and also the public cloud and private cloud now, since the promise that public cloud has come up with the cost savings and everything is not right now. The cost savings that were promised back in 2010 and in 2024, those are not exactly justifiable.
Really?
Yes, and the reason is, I mean, you can understand, like if you see the reason why the organization moved to cloud in 2010 to 2015 is the on-premise costs are high.
Yeah, true.
True, but now if you see the bridge has become very closer.
Ach.
Yeah, especially when it comes to some of the hardware like AI. If you see their hourly pricing, and it's like for A100, if you see the hourly pricing of A100 in any hyperscaler ranges from 2,200 rupees to 2,500 rupees in India, and the same thing can be provided from a private cloud. It will be like 50 to 60% cheaper. So there is one of the reference.
So there is migration and reverse migration.
Yes, definitely there is a reverse migration. Personally, we are seeing from Pi Data Centers, we are seeing a lot of churn from the public cloud hyperscalers to private cloud through Pi Data Centers, and this is going to happen furthermore. I know that public cloud has their own advantages because of this scalability, but the promise of cost is no more relevant that much.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. But there's hybrid as well. There are people who want both, the best of both worlds.
Definitely. That's what the reverse migration, like people's, what they thought is, let's keep the core information with us, and rest of the 60 or 70% with the public cloud. But the cost has to be justified for the 70%, right? So if that promise is not there, then that's where the reverse flux is happening right now. And we are seeing that very huge time, like from last 1 year, there are considerable, the enterprises started having their own data center, or some of them wants to do bare metal services as well. For example, let's say some of the manufacturing companies or healthcare or oil and gas, they wanted to deploy some of the workloads on bare metal. That's where they get the raw power for their applications, and these are not provided by the hyperscalers. So it's also the technical software developments that are happening, that are also propelling growth from public cloud to private cloud as well.
And the overall growth in the cloud industry is also impacted in a huge manner by the growth of emerging technologies like AI, for example. Now we are hearing about AI cloud, AI super cloud, hyper cloud, giga cloud, mega cloud. It's so mind-boggling. Take us through it.
So AI, I mean, you know, right, like it started from stage of machine learning, through deep learning, which are neural networks, through now generative AI. And right from the beginning, the AI, the compute required for AI is different and tremendous, because you need to train large amount of data, you need to have a good bandwidth, and also great compute power in terms of not CPUs but GPUs. Okay, that is where the demand is going higher, much like since the ChatGPT evolution. every organization wants to go and try some use cases on generative AI, see how can they improve the operations or improve their efficiency in terms of manufacturing or any kind of workload. So this is where the evolution is growing on AI, and like that same way the dependency on the cloud is also impacting a lot. So public clouds have gained advantage due to this, private clouds are gaining advantage, but I see more like now, like the private clouds and co-locations have a great growth area in terms of AI. It's not started yet, but what we see is coming over the couple of years. The more the people will be using the private clouds and the co-location for the AI use cases.
I see, but it's not just as you mentioned. AI is also intertwined in a very interesting way with machine learning. Then there is IoT as well.
Yes.
So we have all of these, acronyms: AI, ML, IoT, LLM, and all of this alphabet soup of sorts is turning this into a very complex yet beautiful industry. So, what is your experience with ML now?
See, ML is like the starting point where back in 2010 the ML algorithm started off. Okay, so when the biggest thing with ML is you need to have a good data strategy. If the company doesn't have a data, you cannot do any ML projects. So that is where the for the ML. It solves a lot of predictive analytics and these kind of problems, but the data has to be there. That is where the data lakes, the data warehouses have evolved over the years to support the ML frameworks. And even in the era of Gen AI, there are companies who are using deep learning and machine learning a lot because these are not solved by generative AI. Okay, so the growth of machine learning and deep learning is still there, but the generative AI is also augmenting the growth. And there is a combination of three. There are use cases where you can use machine learning, deep learning combined with generative AI. That is where the whole ecosystem is evolving, where they can use multiple technologies to solve different use cases. I think the growth will be larger right now. I think it's a very great area to be in area of AI.
But this ecosystem that you refer to, it is also driven by people. Like, contrary to the belief that people will be made completely irrelevant, I think people will also be driving this industry to an extent. But for that, they need to be upskilled. There is a certain degree of reskilling required. What kind of skills development do you want to see, and how do you think that can be done?
Yes, definitely. Like for AI, you require a different skill set. Like need to have a programmers, and the other thing is to know which kind of hardware to use, and you need a consultants and architects to design the infrastructures for AI workloads. It's not easy to define what kind of hardware to use for AI, because you need to benchmark the solution. Nowadays, you see there are a lot of large language model versions coming up.
True.
Okay, there are 7 billion parameter models, there are 70 billion parameter models.
Those numbers blow my mind. Those numbers completely blow my mind.
There are 180 billion more parameter models. So for each of them, it requires a different kind of power, different kind of GPU. So there should be an architect who should define, okay, we are going to use 70 billion parameter and we want to do a RAG or a fine tuning with that large language model, and what kind of GPU to use. We usually come across many companies requesting for GPUs through Pi data centers, and we get a request like for a 7 billion model, they require a 100, which is not relevant. Which you don't require. You for A100s you need to go for if you have a 70 billion parameter or 188 billion parameter, and if you're doing a lot of production applications, then you need to go and request for a A100. But due to the lack of knowledge for the engineers, they're using a wrong GPU for their use case, and for this you need a proper benchmarking expert, obviously a architect or LLM expert who is also tested benchmarking the solutions will help to guide the companies to use the right hardware. And obviously the programmers are very crucial for this too, and we see that the people who are good at programming, who are doing C, C++ or a .NET or a Java, they can upskill to LangChain and a lot of Python frameworks. So these are very, very important for using the Gen AI and AI applications. I think that is where the lot of growth will come into the going forward. And coming to the data centers, I think the you need a different kind of cooling systems. I mean this hardware like GPU, NVIDIA,
Yeah.
A100s and H100s consume lot of power.
True.
And you need to have a specialized hardware people to handle this kind of workloads in the data center itself. So both at the hardware level you need to upskill people who can handle that kind of power, and making sure that you optimize the data center power for implementing these solutions. And the programming, you need to upskill your staff to the latest technologies, latest frameworks like Gemini, ChatGPT, OpenAI, and also Llama 3. There are a lot of open source models that are really doing good for customer use cases, Mistral, Llama, and you need to upskill your staff on the latest versions of the LLMs as well.
Perfect. Now my question to you is that this is your first time attending
Yes,
CDC.
yes.
What has your experience been so far? And also, I mean, this is our 7th year, W Media 7th year. If there is a message or a wish you'd like to
Yeah,
for us.
this is my first time, and it's surprisingly I got connected with a lot of people right now, and because since the data center is a talk of the town right now, especially for the AI and anything, I think it's a great event where all the companies come together for this event, and we can kind of network, and there's a lot of knowledge sessions that we can hear from other panel members and everything. There's a lot of knowledge, lot of networking, and you can stay ahead in what exactly happening on the ground, because a lot of times you hear something on internet or something like that, but here we can directly meet these people and directly interact what kind of use cases they are doing, how the private cloud or a co-location is helping other organizations. I think it's a fantastic event. I heard a lot about W Media, and this is the first time I'm attending, and I think I'll definitely come and attend the rest of the events as well.
We will be happy to welcome you there. Thank you so much for joining us today. This was an excellent discussion.
Thank you, Deb.
We will be bringing you many more such interviews from Bangalore CDC, so stay tuned.